California gold rush ended long ago. The rush of people coming to California hasn't. The great outdoors and great new opportunities make California an interesting place to live. During the first half of the 1900s, California's population grew rapidly. By 1930, California's population had grown to almost 6 million. Cheaper train fares and more automobiles made the journey easier than ever before. People came to California in search of jobs and a new life on our nation's beautiful West Coast. At this time, much of California's growth was centered around Los Angeles, in Southern California. In the 1930s, public irrigation projects were begun to bring water to drier areas, technology private farmers had been using since the late 1800s. These new crops meant more money for California's growing economy, but farming wasn't the only industry to affect Southern California's economy. Oil was first discovered in Southern California in the 1860s, and towns such as Mentryville sprang up soon after. By 1923, California was the leading oil-producing state in the United States. The early 1900s, and especially the 1920s, also marked the beginning of what many say is California's most famous export, the film industry. By the late 1920s, there were 29 film studios in Southern California, employing thousands of people, from actors to set designers. The movie business soon became a famous and exciting industry. People hoped to see a glimpse of the movie stars. So Hollywood's glamour helped to create another new industry, tourism. As the number of people visiting California's beaches, national parks, and cities continued to grow, so did the demand for hotels, restaurants, and transportation. But many people, including migrant workers, struggled from day to day to earn money. Migrant workers are people who regularly move from place to place to do a job. They usually work on farms and play a very important role in keeping them running. Back in the 1920s and 1930s, conditions were very difficult for migrant workers. In the 1930s, many farmers and their families came to California from Oklahoma, Texas, Arkansas, and Missouri. They worked very long days for very low pay, and they rarely had any time off. Eventually, some brave people decided to stand up and make life better for migrant workers. One important person was Cesar Chavez. In 1962, Chavez, along with Dolores Huerta and other dedicated people, formed a group known as the United Farm Workers Union. Huerta and Chavez saw many workers being mistreated.
I had seen all of the terrible conditions that farmers were exposed to during the Bracero period, and then going out into the fields myself and working and seeing the really horrible conditions that workers were working under, like everybody having to drink out of one cup. You have 50 people in the field drinking out of one tin cup, and just the fact that people worked out there all day long in the hot sun.
In the 1960s, Chavez led a 5-year strike of California grape pickers to demand better pay. They encouraged all Americans to boycott, or refuse to buy, grapes to support their cause. Chavez spent the rest of his life leading strikes, boycotts, and staging hunger strikes as he continued the fight for migrant workers' rights. A fight that continues today. Despite the challenges, it's easy to see why so many people chose to come to California in the early 1900s, and why they have continued to come ever since. The dream of pursuing new opportunities and of improving their lives. Dreams that still make California popular today.